But now, let's take a look at some of the free information that he is giving out that's not behind a paywall.
I'm sitting on a bad boy piece of information. Do you understand? A bad boy piece of...
Asimi Aji, $10. Hey, God bless y'all doing the Lord's work, graduating next week from Towson University.
Nice.
Would you recommend paying off student loans all at once or weekly payments?
Never pay off student loans. It's still going to be on your credit after you pay the student loan off.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah. Still going to be on your credit. It's not going anywhere. It has to be removed. Even if you pay it off, they're going to know you had a student loan still. It has to be. Plenty of people don't. I'm in the credit game.
Yeah.
Everybody hit me up. They be like, I just paid my student loans off, but why does it still show on my credit? Because you didn't supposed to really pay it off.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
See, I paid my joint off. I didn't even know still. Man,
I mean,
see,
you could have took the same money,
Yeah.
and just had it removed. Yeah, you would have still owed it, but are you going back to college?
No.
Okay, then.
Oh.
It's only for if you're trying to go back to school. Then it was like, oh, well, you still owe a student loan. It only matters if you're going back to school.
See, no, that's a real scam.
Yeah,
Holy
I didn't know
smokes.
that. I didn't. So, because I was actually, you know, I'm keeps bringing it back up. So, because I had a follow up question with that. So, when let's say you do it yourself, use the lettering and everything like that, and you get the college loan removed.
Yeah.
You're still obviously responsible to pay it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you still owe it.
Okay.
But, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, long as it's not on my credit, I don't care.
Gotcha.
Giving away your free book, you're just trying to sell me stuff. Of course I am. I have no shame. I have no guilt. I have no hesitation.
First note, it's just as missed payments can negatively affect your credit score. On-time student loan payments can also positively affect your credit score and credit payment history. It's still important to pay off the student loan so that your overall debt-to-income ratio can be low when being evaluated for, say, a mortgage, right? And rather than trying to remove the student loan in its entirety, you're better off just trying to get negative information related to your student loan off of your credit report. Does that make sense?
And everything like that, and you get the college loan removed.
Yeah.
You're still obviously responsible to pay it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you still owe it.
Okay.
But, I mean, come on.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You know what I'm saying? Like, long as
You still owe it, but come on, that's basically what he's talking. Look, all this other credit he's trying to tell you niggas to run up, all this other shit he's trying to take, that's the mindset he has. Like, you still quote unquote owe it. Yes, nigga, you still owe your debt. You gotta pay the debts. And I mean, of course you can just, and if you don't pay them, it's going, how you gonna tell niggas to fix their credit, but then say, okay, you quote unquote owe it. That's the mindset he has with all this other shit he's telling you guys to take out, especially you guys who still got your good credit, still maybe just got out of college, high school, ain't ran nothing up yet, your shit up yet. All right, you listen to this nigga, fuck your shit up, and you're gonna be 30 and 40 and 50, you gonna fuck because of some stupid shit you did. Listening to this nigga telling you to run up all this shit, don't even worry about paying it back. Go ahead, say what you go ahead.
He's just, you know what though, man? I mean, he's just doing it right in their face too. It's like he's just slapping them in the face, just straight up, just lying. Man, that is just that shit blows my brains out. Man, he just straight up lying. Oh yeah, you still owe it, nigga. What are you talking? You owe it, but don't care about it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Place.
Just ignore it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
It'll go away.
But they're student loans, so no, nigga, I don't know. What are you shrugging your shoulders for? What the fuck does that mean? Stay a slave until I'm dead? If you guys listen to what, and I wasn't even trying to attack his character at first, but man, he's just doing it right in you guys' face. Oh man, that's horrible, man. That's horrible.
The video and all that good stuff. Shout out to Tony Lugan. He said, I like FreshandFit, but they need to do a better job of monitoring their guests. Who believes this dude with this jewelry costume on hashtag scam? I said, I'm not even coming at him as a person.
Right,
I'm just talking about the information is up though.
Now, in general, there's a small chance that your credit score might temporarily drop once you paid off your student loan. It's kind of weird to think about it, but let me explain. Credit bureaus like to see that you can manage different types of debts. Basically a file mix, right? It accounts for about 10% of your overall credit score. Car loans or student loans are things that have fixed monthly payments in comparison to a credit card, which can vary each month in terms of what you're paying. But regardless, you should never, ever, ever pay interest just to have a higher credit score. And these two Reddit users pretty much give sufficient anecdotal experience of what I'm talking about. One person says, I paid off my 13K student loans in 3 months. So 3 before the first payment, and my credit score dropped about 30 points. But it's rebounded by 50 points in the time since. Just pay it off. It's a large burden off your shoulders. The second person says, installment loans being paid on time help your score. How much? Probably not a lot. I had an 825 plus credit score with no loans whatsoever. My credit union has a nice monthly FICO score with comments on what could have reduced the score from 850, and it came up with quote unquote no installment loans. So pay it off, and having it on there will temporarily decrease your credit score, but in the long run, you'll be good. It'll bounce back. Now, the road to good credit begins with checking your credit history from credit bureaus directly, and not just relying on third-party apps like Credit Karma or Borrell.
About credit. So people be like, okay, what is the first step to start on, getting my credit up?
Yeah.
I always tell them that you should look at what's on your credit first, because you might have a lot of stuff that needs to be removed as far as old addresses, a lot of inquiries. A lot of people got student loans. So I feel like you should clean your credit first and then build it.
If you're in the US or the UK, you want to order your credit report directly from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. If you're in Canada, we only have Equifax and TransUnion.
And how you build it is by like Tradelines, or if you know people who have money that's around you with high limit credit cards, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 credit cards, you can ask to be an authorized user on their credit card. So if, let's say if you guys are friends and he got a $50,000 credit card, you're like, hey bro, can I pay you to be on your credit card for about 4 months? Now he will inherit all your history. You get what I'm saying? Now that's just shot your score.
Now, you could buy a trade line for $600 to $2,000, which can last you for a couple months, right? That's a good quick fix, quick hack.
Good credit pays you in this world today.
Can you tell people what a trade line is? Because I know a lot of people might not know what that is.
Okay, a trade line is somebody else's credit history that you can actually purchase. So if somebody had a credit card since 2010 at $50,000, you can actually go purchase that limit and that credit limit, on a website basically.
Okay.
That's all it really is. They call it a trade line, but it's really authorized user.
Or you could convince family and friends to let you be an authorized user on their credit card for a small fee or some type of fee or monthly fee by paying them basically.
Because trade lines you buy and they only stick for like 3-4 months. They fall off unless it's your friend and he could take you off whenever. But if you're buying it off a site, they don't keep you on there that long.
So you can only, so you're basically paying to rent a line that has a higher limit. Is that for the sole purpose of maybe you're going to apply for some credit cards at that time? This
the only thing good trade lines are good for when you know, because you got 2 to 3 weeks before they hit. So if you buy it and it hits, you go get your car, go get your home, or go get your credit card.
Right there and then. Okay.
Because you don't really have too much time, because it's a site where if I give them my information and say, hey, y'all can add 10 people on my credit card, but I don't want them on there longer than 2 months or a month. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So they're going to pay me, and then the people take my credit or whatever,
Gotcha.
So that's just how it
That
works.
makes sense.
So, so it basically allows the people a finite amount of time, typically shorter, to be able to go out there, apply for whatever they couldn't get before,
Yes.
and be able to get approved for a home
Or just hear me out. You could get a secured credit card with that money.
I'm sitting on a bad boy piece of information. Do you understand? A bad boy piece of...
Basically, you give the credit card company, say, $200 or $500, and after 6 to 8 months of consistent on-time payment, your secured credit card, becomes an unsecured credit card, and you get your money back. All while building good history on your own trade line or your own credit card, right? Basically, a trade line is anything that reports payment history to the credit bureau or on your credit report, right? Student loans are trade line, credit cards are trade line, auto loan, car loans are trade line. Anything that reports payment history is a trade line. Also, the extra money that you would have used to buy a trade line, you can now use that to build out your emergency fund, right? Have some extra savings in there, or to pay off debts or pay down debts. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most cost-efficient approach. If you're in the US, the best secured credit card is probably the Discover It secured credit card.
One and only the Discover It secured credit card, baby. This has a $0 annual fee, which is huge when you're trying to build your credit, because most cards charge annual fees because they're like, yeah, this guy doesn't have the best credit, so let's just kick him while he's down. I know, credit card companies are terrible, but another great thing about this card is you actually get 1% to 2% cash back on purchases, which is insane for a secured credit card. And to top that off, Discover will actually match your cash back during your first year, which again is insane for a secured credit card. Then lastly, this secured credit card only makes you put $200 towards it. So if you don't know what a secured credit card is, it's essentially you giving Discover $200 and saying, here's my $200. They're gonna say, okay, thank you. We're gonna give you a credit card that has a $200 limit on it, and then it acts like a normal credit card. You charge it, you make payments, you charge it, you make payments, and it's a normal credit card. Then when you actually close that account, Discover goes, hey, thanks for being a customer. Here's the $200 you gave us at the beginning. Take that back into your bank account.
If you're in Canada, your best bet is the Home Trust Secured Visa.
Number 1, the Home Trust Secured Visa. This card comes in 2 different versions, a no annual fee card and a $59 annual fee card. The difference is that the annual fee card has a lower interest rate of 14.9% compared to 19.99%. But in my opinion, the annual fee card is irrelevant because if you can't afford to be paying your balance off in full,
then you can't afford to pay any interest at all.
Also, racking up a balance is probably how some people ruin their credit in the first place.
Declined. Really?
If you want to use credit cards properly, you should pay them off in full so you don't get charged interest. Minimum security deposit for this card is $500, the highest on this list, and the maximum is $10,000. Approval rate for this card is over 95%. Only people currently in bankruptcy do not qualify. They must get discharged first.
And if you're in the UK, you have the Aqua Classic Secured Credit Card.
3, we have the Aqua Classic Credit Card. This one has a credit limit of £1,200, which is obviously much higher than the previous cards, which is obviously a bit nicer to have a more flexible credit limit to buy things that you need. Obviously, if you've got a car repair coming up, this might actually exceed £500, and therefore it's nicer to have a bigger credit limit to be able to afford to pay this amount. They also accept people that have bad credit. This is obviously worse than having no credit, and is when your score is below 450. This is really good because if you've missed a payment or two, they'll give you the opportunity to repair your credit history and prove that you're a reliable spender. For this card, you also don't need to have any minimum income, and it also doesn't matter what current bank account you have. This credit card isn't limited for students and is available for everyone, as long as you're over the age of 18.
And big notes, okay? Listen, Shumbo, listen to me. Listen. As far as credit card management is concerned, I'd always recommend keeping your overall credit card utilization at around 20%. Therefore, if your credit card limit is, let's say, $1,000, you never use more than $200 at a given time. Let's say your balance goes up to $250, right? You stop using your credit card. You pay it off in full, or you pay it down to maybe $50 or $100, and then use your credit card again. Or if you have a big payment that is greater than $200, like the 20% utilization, you're transferring money to your credit card within seconds or minutes of making that purchase, right? So let's say about to make a $700 purchase on a $1,000 limit. You make that payment, and next thing you know, within a minute, you are transferring money to pay it off right then and there. Having your own self-imposed credit card limit ensures that you're never carrying a balance or missing payments because, you know, the balance has become too large. Basically, you're not maxing out your card or over leveraging yourself, especially if you don't have a robust amount of money in your savings account, right? If an emergency comes up, you're using your credit card as opposed to using the emergency fund. So I was helping a shorty I'm dealing with, you know what I'm saying? I'll be out here in these streets, these dating streets, get a credit card. And they gave her a $2,000 limit at 19, basically. Yo, they were plotting on her downfall. I'm not gonna cap. I basically told her, you know, don't use more than $100, which would be 10% actually, at a given time without paying it off. And we set up alerts to ensure that, you know, she wouldn't go past that amount. So anytime she'd go over $100, she'd get an alert to start paying that money down in full or pay a portion of it down. If you follow this protocol in business and personal finance, you will never end up in $12,000 of credit card debt. It's pretty straightforward. And as far as getting negative items removed from your credit report, I highly recommend Carolyn Warren's book, Repair Your Credit Like the Pros, How Credit Attorneys Legally Delete Bad Credit and Repair Your Good Name. Restore your good name. That can be found on Amazon, linked in the pinned comment for the expensive price of $20.
Making sure I'm rolling 10 man deep. That's the way it gotta be. They know what it is, I know that I ain't gonna speak. Cause they know that I'm a G. You can get in the flesh, fuck a FaceTime. Better treat me with respect or I'll take lies. I ain't never trust a bitch, think that we legit. She could ride me like a Harley when she grab it on my dick. I just wanna catch a body like I'm Boosie, palms like I'm 2C. Write 10 songs, go again, that's the routine. I won't change, all my friends are in Buki. We could start all again before you lose me.